everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Marketing Inc. I am really excited for my guest today. Jeff Chandler is actually someone who's been in my local marketing mastery program and recently won a 2 Comma Club award from Clickfunnels. So I thought this was a great opportunity to get him in, have him share his story, and really talk about what are the things that he was able to implement that allowed him to achieve this awesome goal and really just help him grow his business and help more people than ever before through his fencing products. So welcome, Jeff, to the show. Happy to have you.
Thank you so much, Allie. It's so great to be here. I'm super excited.
Yeah, me too. So before we get started, I just want you to really tell the audience about yourself. So, really describe the business that you're in and how you got to this point in your life. And then we'll get into the nitty-gritty of some of the things that you're doing on the marketing side.
We grew up around horses. Horses was our life. I'll step that back first. Before, my parents weren't horse people, but my uncle was a horse guy. And so he was a role model to me. And so I grew up going to his place, staying with him. And it got me into horses and I got my brothers into horses. And growing up, we really didn't have a lot of money. It was just, my parents worked, normal jobs and we didn't have property. And so our dreams were to own our own horses one day. And we moved to Arizona from Utah and we were able to get some property. And that's where it was like, oh my gosh, like this might be real. So we started building fence, and our first project was out of donated wood from one of my dad's friends. He had a construction project fall through, and so he had all this wood, and he's like, here you guys go, do what you want with it. And it was originally for my dad. Right. It was originally for my dad. He wanted to build a shop, and we're like, we're going to build an arena out of this. And we started, because we didn't have a lot of money, and it wouldn't have been able to be possible without that. So we started building this fence out of wood, and me and my 2 brothers, we were like 14, 15, and 16 when we built this arena. And it was super cool to see it come from nothing to build this fence. And we were super excited. And we were able to get our first horse from selling a few of the calves we had raised. And we bought our first horse and we just started riding. And our dream was to own a horse and to become team ropers. Team roping in the rodeo world is what we really wanted to do, rodeoing. And from that time forward, our wood fence fell apart and we built a metal arena. We all learned how to in high school. So that's really where it transitioned into our business today. We're Seven Peaks Fence and Barn. My 2 brothers right out of high school, they jumped into, since we were in that industry, a lot of people saw we had built our own fence and they started doing it for other people. I was on a church mission at that time, so I was away. And when I came back, I wanted to start my own business and we jumped on together and it transitioned our business when I came on to manufacturing do-it-yourself horse fencing products, which is really, it's allowed us to grow exponentially by doing that. It's been really fun to see and be partners with my 2 brothers, and we haven't killed each other yet, but it's been fun to see a business grow from literally nothing. They started with $400 and a welder to now generating millions of dollars. From growing up with a family, we're very humble beginnings, and our family has never seen stuff like this before. It's just crazy to see what can come from hard work, from finding mentors and coaches and applying those things that successful people have been doing that can help you as well. It's been really cool.
Yeah, I just love your story so much. You know that I have a huge passion for horses. And when I get my first horse, which should be next year, I just can't imagine how exciting it's really going to be. And
totally.
Taken something that you guys were simply passionate about, not from a business perspective, but you just loved it. And you slowly started to, learn that next skill and take that next step and incrementally get to a place where you knew this was something that you wanted to do. And I think that it honestly, part of it reminds me a little bit of my story. I actually did a podcast episode just talking about my story yesterday. I really don't share it very much, but before I actually started my business, I had already laid that foundation and made a name for myself just by helping other people do those things. And I think that's something a lot of people, they miss. They assume that until they're an official business, they can't really start helping people with those things. But it actually can be those things that allow your business to start off in a much stronger way than before. But the other thing that I really love is you had the opportunity to build fences for other people in person, one-to-one, service-based work. And while there's always going to be a need for that, not everyone was going to be able to do it themselves. You really would have capped yourself at a certain level of revenue by doing it that way, because there's only so many people that you can service. And if you did want to grow really significantly, that would require a lot of additional employees or independent contractors, managing those people, paying those people, a whole nother level of complexity. So you were able to take that concept and say, how can I sell more and help more people with a product that is going to allow them and empower them to do it themselves? So it's very similar to my journey from agency work more into coaching and mentoring and giving people these do it yourself resources to allow them to take advantage of that and also save a lot of money in the process so that they can spend it on other things, where I'm sure a lot of your clients are able to spend that on their horses or their feed or buying another animal and things that are really important to them. So I just love it. I think that it's such a unique business, and especially for the digital marketing space, businesses like yours don't get that much attention, mainly because there's not that many of them that are really leveraging online marketing strategies in a super effective way. And it is so different, but I think it's proof that these things can work for any business if you apply them in the proper way and really think about what it is that your customers need, what you need to do on your end to maybe restructure your business to allow yourself to grow in a different type of way. But it's just been so cool to see your growth. So I'm sure the audience at this point is probably really interested in exactly what you did to grow your business online. So before we met and before you joined the local marketing mastery program, talk me through some of the things that you guys had tried, what you were doing, and what really prompted you to seek out some additional help on the tech and the marketing side.
Yeah, totally. What's interesting, so my dad, this is more of our backstory. He started Seven Peaks Construction back 15, 20 years ago. And he was the like he could build things. Like he knew exactly how to build a house from top to bottom, and he knew everything about it. But he didn't know how to run a business. And nothing against my dad. He was a very hard worker, like very skilled at what he did, but he didn't know the simple foundations you needed to grow and build a successful business, especially during hard times.
Yeah.
And when the 2008 crash came along, a lot of businesses, just like we've seen recently, fell apart. And that's exactly what happened with my dad. And he had to shut it down, and he went and worked to the city. And so when we came in starting our business and I jumped on, I said, you guys, like, and you hit the nail on the head on this part too. As installation business, there was going to be a cap, just like you said. We could have grown and we could have gone nationwide. It would have taken a lot more work and effort. I don't think we would be where we're at today if we wouldn't have shifted. But we said, we need to nail down business foundations that will help us be successful so we don't fall apart during hard times. We don't fall apart. We can't grow, just, like we've seen our dad and some other business friends that has happened to them. And we actually took a coaching program before yours. And in that coaching program, it was more on a business standpoint. And it talked about the 3 foundations that we needed to apply to be successful. And that was marketing, sales, and production. And we're like, cool, yeah, there's 3 of us. Cool. Yeah, marketing, sales, production. And they went deeper into that, obviously. And we learned a lot from that course. We paid $1,000 and it was life-changing. And that's where our coaching happened, was from there. And we're like, we need to always get coaches. Like, we just need to find people. And you nailed it on the head too. As you said, it's step by step. It's we learn something and then we're like, okay, we need to know this and learn this to go to the next level. Let's find somebody who can help us to do that as well. And that's what we've been doing. It's been really cool to see that. But so going back to marketing, sales, production, there was me and my 2 brothers. And so we're like, there's 3 of us, marketing, sales, production. Let's each take one of those and really dive deep into each of those categories. And so obviously I took on marketing. My other brother took on sales. My other brother took on production. And during that time, I dove into, obviously I found Russell Brunson and I found his .com secrets. That was the first book I found. And I'm like, I got to read this because it's
a great one.
Yeah. And so I read that and it got me into his One Funnel Away program. And then I learned about funnels. And from there, your ad kept popping up on my screen on Facebook. I'm like, oh my gosh, who is this lady? And what does she want from me? I was like, how is this working? This is super cool. And I had tested Facebook ads. I had ran Facebook ads, but I wasn't obviously where I needed to be. I had learned a little bit. I had taken a few other courses that I knew I needed Facebook ads in our business. I needed to market. And so I had taken Kevin David's course and I had taken some Gene's courses, but none of them were focusing on local businesses. And it was driving me crazy. It was all e-commerce. It was all coaching. Yeah. And I was like, I need a local business coach. That's what we are. That's what we're doing. And so yours kept popping up. You're retargeting me like crazy. And I was like, this lady is the answer. And so I had just gone back from Funnel Hacking Live and I applied for your coaching program. And that was just life-changing for us and our business. We started maximizing on our ads. And I fell off the deep end after your six weeks of coaching. I think you're like, where did that kid go? But I was like really trying to apply everything you would. And really implementing. I didn't implement 100% of it, but we just took pieces that we knew would work and applied them and tweaked and played. And it's been really amazing to see. But from Facebook ads to applying Go High Level and CRM and working our customers once they get into our system, and then growing from applying Google My Business and getting Google reviews from our CRM, like that has been huge. From seeing the organic reach of Google reviews has been phenomenal. It's so cool to see that, and it's all been from these little things I've learned from your course that we've applied over time. And obviously, we didn't do them all at once, but we started with one, and over the last, I think it's been almost 2 years now, maybe a year and a half, to where we've applied these different things, and they've all just worked together to really help us scale and grow. So
that's amazing. Honestly, it gives me so much satisfaction to hear that, because that is my goal. Helping businesses just like yours is what I feel like I was put on the earth to do. And so being able to do that is amazing. But the truth is that not everyone applies what they learn as you did. And that really is the differentiating factor to me, because people who are on every single call learning and asking questions and moving forward in that way, because that's the direction that works best for them. There are other people who are able to hop on calls when they have questions, but they can take the recorded videos and the resources and implement on their own. But either direction, you have to take action on things. You can't just learn it or feel that the changes you have to make are so big and so overwhelming that you don't do anything. You just have to start. And like you said, do them slowly over time. Take what makes the most sense for you, that you think is going to make the biggest impact in the short term, and continue to build on it. So whenever you first joined the program, I remember going through your consult with you, and you'd mentioned, hey, I've tried contests and giveaways in the past. I don't really know if they're working. We haven't necessarily seen a lot of sales from them, but it seems like people really like them. And so that was the strategy that we really focused on for you. So talk a little bit about what you had tried in that regard early on, and then how that strategy shifted and changed for you over time.
Yeah, giveaways have been a huge part of our business. You've talked a lot about in your program lead magnets, and giveaways can be one of those lead magnets. I haven't done a lot of other lead magnets, but also Facebook groups, and I can talk a little bit more about that here in a bit. But our giveaways, when we started, we were giving away, we started with a saddle pad. It's related to horse products. Here's a saddle pad, a $150 product. Here's a funnel. They go and enter their email, and we'll choose, a winner at this time frame. And that was cool. And yeah, we got a lot of entries. Our first one was probably 200 entries, but that was big for us. Yeah. Cool. Here's a $150 saddle pad. Let's take a picture. Let's post it on our Facebook group. And what's great about giveaways is it drives so much traction and traffic on social media. People love free stuff. And that's what's huge about it is you get a lot of hype during that time. So you just get a lot of people sharing and commenting and, hey, look at this giveaway. So it just builds a lot of reach for you as a business during your giveaways. So at first we were doing them for free. And so we got to our next one. We were giving away we have kits, our stall packages or a round pen, and here, enter for free. And then we kept seeing these other people that were growing huge in kind of the e-commerce space where you go and buy a product and you enter for your chance to win a truck, or there's diesel brothers, and there's some new ones popping up for cars and different things, and you buy a product and you get entered to win this prize. So we're like, how can we? And what kept going through my mind is, that's great, we're doing giveaways that builds hype, we're getting emails, so that was a huge bonus, which it's still not a bad thing. You're collecting emails, you can retarget them, you want to build that list, which has been huge for us, building that list, because you can always email and things. If Russell's always talked about, if Facebook goes down or your other platforms, what are you going to do? You need to have your list. So we are focusing on building that list, but we've transitioned it now to where we sell our merchandise. We built Seven Peaks Fence and Barn merchandise. We've hired a third-party company. We launched our first one. We sold our hats to enter for our giveaway, and if you don't do it properly, you could get in trouble as a business, and you don't want that as your business. So we've reached out to people who are doing it, reaching out to people who understand, professionals, finding someone that knows what they're doing rather than you trying to test and fail. But so we hired a third-party sweepstakes company to write all the legal stuff for us and make sure things, because you got to pay taxes. There's just a few things to it. And so when we did that, now we sell our merchandise. And what's cool about that is, one, you still get it's free promotion. So we have, our last giveaway, we sold thousands and thousands of hats and t-shirts. And so a ton of people are getting our merchandise and wearing it around town, which is huge. I can go around and I see people at these rodeos and different things now. Everybody has our stuff, and it's so cool to see. So you promote yourself that way. It covers your marketing costs. It covers your products that you're giving away. And it builds tons of hype and everything at the same time, to where it's super, super cool to see. At the end of our giveaways, we kind of like to do a live. We announce the winner. We have hundreds of people on our live, which is so powerful. And then we like to do a sell, which even if you broke even through your giveaway, you're still covering your marketing costs. You're still covering your product. And as you do a sell at the end, you're generating all that, income on the back end that really makes it even better, sweeter at the end. So that's been our strategy to this day now from beginning. Rather than doing free giveaways, we do a paid giveaway. We hired the professional people to make sure that's all set up properly, and it covers everything. And we get double the marketing pretty much. We cover our Facebook ads, we cover our Google ads, we cover all our merchandise that's going out. They're paying for it, and someone gets an awesome free prize at the end, and people love it. It's been so cool.
Yeah, I really wish more people would test this type of strategy. But the biggest thing I've seen with people that get really hesitant is they do assume that giving away something is only going to attract people that will never buy. And so that isn't necessarily true even with the free giveaway. However, with something where they do have to break out that credit card to be able to enter, they are already psychologically open to purchasing from you again, which is a really great thing. And like you mentioned, you are able to cover all of those advertising costs. So let's say worst case scenario, you just broke even and nobody bought a single thing on the back end. You've still built a list, and probably a significant list in size, for free, of people who know your business, of people who are clearly interested in what you sell. Because this was something that you and I had talked about early on. A lot of people are trying to give away AirPods or an iPad or things like that have nothing to do with their business. And if you do that, there's really nothing that would tell you that this person is someone who needs what I sell, which means that even if you try and do some type of consolation prize or sale on the back end, you don't know if they're interested. So you've done it exactly the right way, giving away things that people who would buy from you, they need or they want. And I do love the merchandise sale, as opposed to having them like buy a bag of feed or something that is still related. You are able to get just that extra incremental bump in terms of exposure. And like you mentioned, the PR and kind of the goodwill that you build with people around doing something like this, it's really hard to overstate how significant that can be, especially when people can really see, hey, they actually do give this away. Here's a picture with the winner. Like, here's the winner saying how thankful they are for it. And you're changing that person's life, in all honesty. And your last giveaway was $14,500 value of horse fencing. I mean, that is a lot of fencing. And for somebody that could really change so much in their day to day life, do you think that person is not going to be your greatest advocate for the rest of their life? I guarantee they probably are. So many positives to this. What have you guys seen in terms of your take rate on that consolation prize, as I like to call it, or that back end sales? And I also want to talk about your live stream that you did for that giveaway. I was so proud of you. I was like, he's doing a mini webinar right now, and I love it. Like, truthfully, the model was awesome because I sat in on the last one and I watched the whole thing live, and you did it exactly the right way. And you kept people on that live for like 45 minutes and they did not leave, and they heard your entire story. They heard all about the sale that was going to be given out to the person who did not win. And you drew that name at the end, or presented that name from the envelope at the end, so that if you're there, you really don't want to leave until you hear who wins. But the beauty of it is that those people, they still are getting excited about it, just hearing you talk about it. So that consolation prize, or that sale that you're going to give everyone who does not win, is going to be something that people are a lot more excited to take you up on after watching that live. But then you still have the opportunity to email, text, really get the word out through that format. So let's talk through what those different sales are that you've done as your consolation prize, what that typically looks like in terms of sales, and just a repeat customer value of a lot of these people, because I know that your industry is one where people are going to need to buy something again, most likely. It's not that way for every single business, but I would say overall, there's always something else that can be purchased. So really looking at people, not just in terms of that very first thing they purchase, but what is our customer lifetime value? And every buying customer has the potential to be worth this amount to our business. So I'd love to hear just more about what you guys have done with that back end sale.
Yeah, so typically I'll build out a funnel, and most of my sales team, they don't work at nights, which I could change it to where it's a phone sale. Our average sale is $2,000. So typically a funnel can be difficult as you want to get them on the phone at that kind of price range most of the time, talk with them, sell them. And so that's typically how we do our sales. But on the back end, when we have 400 or 500 people on a live, you really get to build that trust with them. They love who you are, because if they don't, they're not going to sit there and watch through the whole video. They're going to get annoyed and be gone. And yes, we wait till the end to do the giveaway, so it holds people on there to announce the winner. But so we build that trust, and people love it, and they're typically on there, like you said, because if we're going to give away fencing, they obviously need fencing, so let's give them a deal. So our last one we did, or I'll go back to the one before that. We did the same thing, and we gave a sale. We actually sold a kit. This last time we just sold individual panels or a product. So we did a kit last time, and we gave that off before we did announce the winner. And we announced the winner, and then at the end we put on the screen, and hey, this is our offer for tonight. For whoever didn't win, we wanted to give you a special deal. We wanted to over deliver, and it's for tonight only. So we try and do that scarcity to where it's, hey, whoever was on this, whoever saw it, tonight only, we want to give you the special offer. And it's been really good. We launch it. We say, hey, go to this website or funnel, go purchase what kit you'd like to, purchase. And we sell tens of thousands of dollars on the back end of our products that initially we wouldn't have sold. And a lot of people,
your marketing costs are free at this point.
Free at that point, right?
Makes it so much more profitable to do it that way. I love it.
Totally. And Russell Brunson's talked about whoever can, spend the most to acquire a customer wins. And that's where it all comes in, is when you're marketing for free, essentially, our giveaway is completely free because our customers are paying for it. And then on the back end, like you said, at that point, we make it sell tens of thousands of dollars worth of product. That is all free marketing for you as a business that you didn't have to pay for. And it's even more profitable at that point for you as a business. it blows my mind, like you said, that more people aren't doing this, because it is free marketing. It is extra exposure. It is building trust with your customers, and sharing your story is so powerful that even if they don't win, they're still excited for the person. Every time they've been like, congratulations, I'm so happy for one. And they're like, wow, that deal is super awesome. And we get lots of sales from it. And even if they don't buy that sale, we still sell to a lot of those customers from our email list. We retarget them. We send email campaigns. We create a list, a lookalike on Facebook, and we can retarget them again. And we still sell to them in the future, regardless of making the sale, that day. We still can get them later on with that email list and creating lookalikes on Facebook and targeting them that way. So
absolutely. And that is what makes lists so valuable. I think so. I would say the majority of businesses undervalue a list in general.
totally.
They also, I've seen so many businesses that actually have a list of a couple thousand people. They never communicate with them. They're so worried that emails are going to bother these people and that they'll unsubscribe that they never do it at all. And I'm like, it'd actually be the exact same if they did unsubscribe, because they're never hearing from you. And these people really can have a much deeper relationship with you if you talk to them, if you have that one-to-one style of conversation, and you've already acquired them in some way. So let's really maximize it. And truthfully, even with a couple hundred people on a list, we'll run something like a reactivation campaign, and you can get 20, 30 appointments for different types of businesses just on that small of a list. So imagine what you can do with a really large list that, again, you've acquired for free. And not only the direct marketing, the ability to really take that and utilize it for audience creation and really a lot of other advertising platforms, but it is something no one can take away from you. And I think that's probably the most important aspect of it, because you don't want to build your house on rented land. You want to make sure that what you're doing is something that you can keep doing, even if an account is shut down, a platform disappears, you're banned personally from something, you can still continue to grow your business. So how frequently are you guys running the giveaways these days?
I think last year we only did about 4 giveaways, or this year we did about 4 giveaways, but I'm hoping to do more this coming year. And it wasn't towards the middle of this year where we really started applying the purchase the merchandise and getting a good sweepstakes company. And now that
we easier to do it when you've got the marketing paid for.
And so now that we've built out kind of the system around it, how we do it, I'd really like to. I don't think I want to do it every month. I want to probably do it every other month, just so that it's not something that's overdone and people fall away from it. Keep it exciting still. And because we always have people asking, hey, when's your next giveaway? When's your next giveaway? And so it keeps them waiting and wanting and really hungry for it. That's something we've learned too. I don't want to give it to them all the time, but I think if we did it every other month, it would be really powerful. So that's our plan for next year.
And I think that even quarterly, obviously it's working really well for you guys. It's giving you enough wiggle room to be able to do a lot of other things in between if you want to. And then also just the continued marketing to your existing list in between those giveaways is really powerful as well. So I think that sounds like a great option for you. I would love to hear about the Facebook group side of it. So that was one thing that when we did our first consult, I thought was super cool. You had a pretty interesting story or strategy around your Facebook group, something that most business owners would never really think of or consider. And so why don't you talk everyone through how you got started with Facebook groups in the beginning and what that's been able to do for your business, what the management of that actually looks like. And I think they're going to be blown away.
Yeah, totally. So I've never shared these secrets, obviously, with anybody else, or giveaways in our Facebook groups. And some other people probably are doing them. That's awesome. But these are so powerful for local businesses that I think so many of them are not using. And it's sad to see. But so our Facebook groups, I told you when we first had our interview during that coaching program that I had purchased some Facebook groups. And I don't honestly remember how I stumbled across this, but I remember, so I do now. I had a friend who reached out to us. He said, hey, I have a Facebook group. I'll sell it for $1,000. And I went and looked at it, and he was trying to utilize it and build a business and it wasn't working. He didn't understand and realize what he could do with it. And so I was like, as he told me that, I thought, man, I don't know how to use Facebook groups. That's really cool. And my original thought was, perfect, I'll have an audience. It was a horse and livestock related buy and sell group. So I was like, perfect, I can use it, put either a cover photo that's related to our business with the group, so it gives us some extra exposure. I can, post whatever I want on there. I can decline posts for competitors or whatever else I want to do on there. I was like, cool, let's do that. And so I bought this group, and it had, I think, 20,000 members on it, and for $1,000.
So amazing. I'm like, does it have any more available?
But what's so powerful, it's my ideal customer, right? So I have 20,000 members in my group now that I paid $1,000 for, that I can, it's still Facebook's, right? It's Facebook. So I was like, that's at the point when I started playing with it, trying to see how I could really maximize my group. It was hard to figure out at first, but obviously I would go in there and I comment a lot. I go through and read posts and like posts. So just organic stuff that really just gets you seen on there. And everybody knows now in these groups, Seven Peaks Fence Barn is the admin. He manages this group, owns this group. We can, for a lot of our giveaways and stuff, we'll post a cover photo on our groups, and we can pin to the top our ad for that giveaway. And so that just gives us so much exposure. But what I started doing, I wanted to get all those customers mine. I wanted them on my list. Just like you said, you don't want to build a house on rented space. So we had these groups with thousands of people. How can I get them mine personally? And so we put this Chrome extension on there and we asked a question on when people try and join the group to enter their email and answer a few other questions. And we have hundreds of people join now we have multiple groups that we've purchased, and we have hundreds of people joining our list organically every single week that is now applying to our list. So we're getting hundreds of emails for free. They're essentially wanting a lead magnet. They're wanting to get in this group. They're wanting to buy and sell on a horse-related group, which is our ideal client. At that point, once they enter their email, then through our CRM on Go High Level, I send out a campaign, a welcome campaign. Hey, welcome to our group. You just joined. We're so happy to have you here. And every day for 30 days, I send out an email, just we do with the giveaways, telling our story, like why we have these groups, what we do as a business, things that we provide, financing our products, and then making offers at the end. And that's been really powerful. I've loved seeing these groups of our ideal customers. We're able to utilize it on Facebook, but then pulling all those clients to be mine for free at this point has been absolutely mind-blowing to me. And then you have that list to retarget, create lookalikes on Facebook, send out email campaigns. And I didn't really understand email or realize how powerful they are even a year ago until I started building this list and started now emailing to these lists. And you can send out an email if you want to. If you really have a good ideal audience, you can send out an email and make hundreds of thousands of dollars if you wanted to. Like that. And that's how powerful those lists are if you do it right. And that's what we're striving for. We're trying to build that list to be ours, and we can really maximize that whenever we want.
I love that so much. This is just such a cool story to hear. And you're doing everything right, honestly. And that is clearly what has gotten you to this level. And I'm just super proud of you. I think you deserve success in your life and your business more than just about anyone. You're such a great person, and you care a lot about what you do, but also the consumers that you're serving. And I think that comes through. The power of storytelling is significant, and people do feel that deeper connection with you and your business and your brand when they hear that. And so I think that's one thing everyone should really take away from this. There's a lot of different takeaways, but that storytelling element that you do through your emails, that you do on that giveaway live stream where you're announcing the winner, and also the kind of the opportunity switch during that live stream. You're really talking to people not just about fencing, you're talking to them about their dreams. Like their dreams are tied to this fencing. And a lot of people would not really, they wouldn't understand that. They wouldn't put that into their sales message. But the truth is, people who need fencing need it for a reason because they have horses. People who have horses love horses. They love it. And there's so many different things that those people are trying to do, whether it's start their own family farm, or I heard several people on that live stream when you were asking them like what their dreams and their goals were. Some of them said, I want to bring my horse home for the first time in my life. Some of them said that they wanted to do horse riding lessons for underprivileged kids in their area. Just a lot of different things. And you made it about more than the product. You made it about their core desires. And very rare, I think, especially in product related industries. People don't go to that deep level of desire that their customer ultimately feels in relation to their product. And once you can bring up those feelings and those emotions for them, they're a lot more incentivized to just take the leap. And then also your story itself showed them the power of just being able to start small and build from that. And so it was a very seamless story to offer because you were selling those individual panels where they could buy as many as they needed to. It didn't have to be some huge order. These are people that maybe they're buying their very first fence panels ever. They've never bought any. And this is really that initial purchase to get them started. Who do you think they're going to purchase from in the future when they have to get more? It's going to be a no-brainer. You guys are going to win their business over and over again. So I just thought that was super cool. I was like cheering for you the whole time. I was like, he's got it. He's got it. But again, just something that's really underutilized, I think, in so many different types of, whether it's copywriting or videos or just messaging for your marketing in general. So I thought you did just such a great job of that. And that's exactly, like I said, what has gotten you to this level. So I'm just super proud of you. Everyone that's listening, if you guys do have horses or farm animals and you need fencing, definitely check them out. So Jeff, where can people find you, learn more about the business, and hopefully buy some products if they need some?
Yeah, for sure. And obviously, if you go online to sevenpeaksfenceandbarn.com, you can see all of our product lineup there. You can get a free estimate. If you search us on Google, you'll see all of our Google reviews. Thanks to Allie, we've been able to generate over 350 Google reviews, 5-star Google reviews of our customers saying how much we've changed their lives and built their dreams. And that's really why we saw that and started applying that more as we are selling more than just a product. We're literally building dreams. And sevenpeaksfenceandbarn.com, feel free to check it out. And even if you don't have horse and livestock, go on there and check it out and see what we're doing too. And follow us on Facebook to help you in your own marketing. That would be awesome.
That's so great. So if you could leave the audience with one final piece of advice on just what has helped you through this journey, something that you feel like could help them as well, what would you say?
One thing, that's a really tough question. From the get-go, what's been crazy is so many businesses have gone out of business during this pandemic, and luckily ours wasn't one of them, but it's because of those foundational pieces that we've built on over the last few years. And so it's really finding, I would say, finding a team to help you fulfill on that, because as most local small business owners know, you're the owner and you're wearing all these hats and it's overwhelming and you neglect so many things that when you do, that's when things start to fall apart and fall apart quickly. Yeah. And so one of the huge takeaways for me over the years has been that me and my two brothers have been able to dive into our own personal roles and really, really learn them and apply them in our own positions. That has helped us be successful. On top of that, we've not just tried things because we thought they were cool. We've found coaches and mentors in our own individual roles that have been able to help us succeed. And that's really what it is, finding people to help you in your own team and mentor you and coach you, and then just take it one step at a time. I always tell, me and my brothers always talk, we literally, from day one, we've made a goal of something and we've made these small stepping stones to get us there. Once we hit there, we've reanalyzed and wanted to see where we wanted to go next, and we've applied those steps to get us there or found the people to help us. It's been life-changing. So a team, coaches, and literally take a step at a time, and you guys can all be successful too. It's super cool to see, and I hope I can see many of you on here. This is a great audience. I love seeing entrepreneurs succeed, whether it's online, local businesses, whatever it is. It's so fun, and you can do it too. I promise.
That's such great advice. And you do have to believe in yourself. It's a key part of it, but you're absolutely right. Anybody can do it if they really figure out how to do it the right way. But Jeff, thank you so much for being on here with me today, sharing your story, sharing really the trajectory of your business. I know so many people are going to find it really valuable, and hopefully I can have you on again in the future to share about whatever it is you do after this, which I'm sure is going to be amazing things. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ali. It's been a pleasure, and it's been a pleasure having all you on today. So thank you so much.